The conference room inside Fort Kingsley was silent except for the faint hum of the projector and the tapping of rain against the glass. Dozens of high-ranking officers sat around a long oak table, their uniforms spotless, their medals glinting under the dim ceiling lights. It was the kind of room where only confidence survived, and compassion rarely entered. But that morning something was different. There was tension, unease, and beneath it all, guilt waiting to surface. Colonel James Riker stood at the head of the table, his posture rigid, his tone sharp. He'd built a reputation as one of the most respected field officers in the Army, a man who had survived hell and returned to tell its story. His chest bore more medals than most men saw in a lifetime. Valor, endurance, leadership. All the words that defined him were written in silver and gold. But today, as he spoke, anger clouded his voice. Across from him sat a woman, calm, quiet, unmoving. Her uniform was plain, her insignia minimal, her hands folded neatly on the table. She didn't interrupt him, didn't defend herself. She simply listened. Her nameplate read Dr. Evelyn Hart, a civilian consultant brought in for operational review. To the room, she was just another analyst, another outsider who wouldn't understand what it meant to fight, to bleed, to lose brothers in arms. And that's exactly what Riker told her, in front of everyone. His voice rose. He accused her of not knowing what it felt like to stand in the dirt while bullets screamed overhead. He told her that people like her, the ones behind desks, didn't earn the right to question soldiers who lived through nightmares. The other officers nodded silently, relieved someone had said what they all thought. The rain grew heavier, streaking down the windows like tears. And through it all, she just sat there, her gaze fixed on the colonel. Not angry, not broken, just steady. When he finished, she looked down for a moment, almost as if she was remembering something painful. Then, without a word, she reached into her briefcase and placed a small black folder on the table. The room fell quiet. She didn't open it. The Pentagon seal on the cover spoke for itself. The general at the far end of the table reached for it first, flipping it open slowly. His eyes scanned the first page and froze. The change in his expression was immediate, from mild curiosity to disbelief, then to quiet awe. One by one, the other officers leaned in. Silence spread like wildfire. When the folder finally reached Riker, his hands trembled slightly as he read the first lines of the file. Classified in Operation Silent Ember, lead strategist, Captain Evelyn Hart. It hit him like a strike to the chest. Operation Silent Ember, the mission that had saved his entire unit 10 years ago. The one everyone said was guided by a mysterious intelligence officer who remained anonymous. The mission that had earned him his first Silver Star, and the lives of every man he'd served beside. He kept reading. Every medal he'd ever received was connected, directly or indirectly, to her orders, her strategy, her decisions made in the shadows. Every victory he celebrated had been protected by her unseen hand. She wasn't just some analyst. She was the architect of everything he had built his career upon. And all this time she never said a word. Riker looked up, and for the first time his voice was gone. He saw her differently now. The stillness in her eyes, the quiet power behind her restraint. She had carried the weight of lives without the recognition, the burden of decisions that saved others while breaking herself. She didn't need medals. Her legacy already lived on the chests of those who survived because of her. The general cleared his throat, but no one could speak. The truth hung heavy in the air, humbling, unshakable. The woman they'd dismissed, the one they called an outsider, was the reason half of them were still breathing. Riker finally stepped forward, his eyes lowered, his tone soft, not in apology, but in reverence. The medals on his chest no longer felt like pride. They felt like borrowed honor, and as he saluted her quietly, the other officers followed. For the first time in years, the colonel felt small, and yet more human than ever. When the meeting ended, Evelyn didn't linger. She gathered her things, offered a faint nod, and walked out into the rain. Outside, the world was gray and cold, but she didn't seem to notice. Every step she took was light, like someone who had carried too much for too long and had finally laid it down. Inside, Colonel Riker remained at the table, staring at the file she had left behind. For once, he didn't see a report or a mission. He saw a reminder that heroes don't always wear medals. Sometimes they wear silence. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that real heroes often go unseen, please like, share, and subscribe to Legends of History, where true courage lives forever. Special request: comment below. Respect the silent heroes, to honor those who change lives without ever asking for recognition.